Welcome to my channel, where there are interesting and equally sensational stories. Listen to today's story. Being able to admit you're wrong is important. But so is standing up for yourself when you're right. When you stand up for yourself, you're standing up for everyone who will follow your positive example. Today on our space, we stand tall and strong. Up first, a father doing what's right for his daughter. 2 months in, I'm still struggling every day, but I'm motivated by my daughter. I caught my wife in an affair 2 months ago. We had been together 9 years. Married for 5. I'm 28 now, so we met rather young and did a lot of learning and growing together. She always had guy friends that she would talk to, so when she mentioned that she was catching up with someone from her past, I didn't think too much of it. Honestly, I should have taken that as a red flag throughout the years, but me being a chill guy and not the jealous type, I didn't make a big deal out of it. We've been struggling in our marriage for the past 2 years now. I've made a lot of mistakes. Not cheating. Just many moments where I could have been a better partner. She also has made a lot of mistakes in that sense. Yet, I had been trying to save the marriage, constantly trying to do things to fix our problems and always asking her if she wanted to talk with that goal in mind. She didn't want to try. She'd asked for a divorce and kept telling me our relationship is over. I asked her what her plan was. She said she will start making plans and let me know, which she never did. She was comfortable with me supporting her and trying to help her with her mental health problems. She's bipolar and has depression. For the last 2 years, it's been a big part of her life. In December of 2020, her dad and I had to take her up to a behavioral hospital for the whole month because she became manic. Once she got out, she was on medication, and it was obvious she wasn't the same person that she was before. I figured her wanting to split was due to her mental health, so it became another reason I took it easy on her with her talking to all sorts of people and going places without me and hanging with, I don't know. I loved her and didn't want to stress her out or make the situation worse by getting on to her all the time. It just led to arguments. She would tell me that she needs to live her life that way for her happiness. We have a 5-year-old daughter. She loves her daughter, but she wasn't focused on being a mother and wife. I was the one pushing for our family to stay together and find happiness in that sense. About 2 months ago, she didn't come home at night. She had been doing that for some time now and would tell me she was spending the night at a friend's house. That's when I started to get really suspicious. She walked in the next morning, and I asked if there was something that I need to know. She said no and went to bed. For the first time in 2 years, she left her phone open, and I told myself it's now or never. I took the phone and walked out of the house and started going through it. I found the guy's number, called him, no answer. Then I saw the messages. Proof that they had been intimate. I was shattered, but I kept my composure, went back into the house and confronted her. She was like a deer in the headlights. I kicked her out that very moment now. She's pregnant with the guy. I'm positive it's not mine. We were last intimate in February, and apparently, they first looked up in March. Now my goal is to try to gain custody of my daughter and divorce her. The guy has a felon. I don't know what kind of lifestyle they plan on living, but I definitely don't want my daughter around people that make those types of decisions. I'm motivated by making sure my daughter is in a good place and to make sure that she knows that she has one parent at least trying their very best for her future. I struggle every day still, but I have a good support group. My family, my friends, even her dad, and some of her family say they are on my side. Everyone sees that what she did was completely selfish. It doesn't make a good image for her or the family in any way. I think a lot about things that I could have done better, but I realized it wasn't my fault. I tried my best to save my marriage. It was her decision. The week that I caught her, I found this subreddit. It's helped me tremendously, and I felt like it was time for me to share my story. It motivated me to hit the gym, as well as concentrating on productive activities to distract myself from all the overthinking and to better myself for my future and my daughter's future. Thank you all for your time. Oh, man, OP, I'm so sorry this has happened to you. You and your daughter don't deserve that. You've been through a lot. I think your main priority should definitely be your daughter, and you're right to try to protect her from whatever life your ex is going down. I think you did all you can. And the fact that you're even taking responsibility for things that you didn't do right is showing huge emotional maturity. It takes two, and we have to take responsibility for our own wrongdoings. She made her choices, and she was quite clear on the fact that she wasn't interested in working on the relationship. I mean, she got pregnant with another man. That's not necessarily being invested in a marriage. Update 6 months in. The holidays are going to be difficult. This past April, I found out my wife was having an affair. We had been married for 5 years and together for 8. When I found the evidence on her phone, I promptly kicked her out of the house that very day. That same week, she ended up getting pregnant by the affair partner, who was a felon. We have a 5-year-old girl together. My soon-to-be ex-wife was putting my kid around him. He has a 10-month-old, so she was using the excuse of having my kid with him so the baby could have a playmate. I told her that if she wants to have time with her kid, then it needs to be just her and my daughter. Not them. Well, both of them didn't want to listen to me. I filed for divorce and filed an injunction against her that said she cannot put my daughter around him. If she does, then she would be committing a crime. It seemed to have worked. It also seemed to have caused a rift between them, enough to where she asked her dad, and she could move in with him. Since she had nowhere else to go where she felt safe. Other than that, I don't know many more details. I don't talk to her much, only if it involves talking about my kid. And even then, I try to keep it short. Her parents and I are on good terms. They understand that it was their daughter's fault and respect that I'm the one that needs to be in charge of my daughter's life. I filed for full custody. My lawyer went ahead and threw in child support, when soon-to-be ex-wife got herself a lawyer, and they offered to settle this in mediation. The first proposed date would have been in December. I thought about it, decided to postpone it till after the holidays, and since all of our birthdays are around this season as well. Her due date is in January, and the next proposed date for mediation is April. So that would mean if everything gets settled in mediation, it would be a full year since this all started. If she doesn't agree to my terms in mediation, then we go to court and it'll get ugly. I'm fighting for what's best for my daughter. A person like my soon-to-be ex-wife can't be trusted and responsible with my kid based off of her decisions as of late. This doesn't mean that I want to keep my daughter away. I'm willing to let her see our kid on a weekly basis, but the authority and decision-making for my child needs to be up to me now. This is also difficult. I have to make one of the people that I love most in this world my enemy now. I'm full of anger, deep sadness, a degree of jealousy, someone having been with the woman I loved, and the level of confusion. Confusion in regards to how everything changed so quickly, and what if I'm doing is a 100% right. About a month ago, she showed up at the house unannounced. She asked if we could talk, so I stepped outside and talked to her in the carport. She asked me for forgiveness, crying to me how she regrets everything, saying that she regrets deciding to keep the baby, telling me she misses everything about us and the family we had in our home. It hurt to hear it, because deep down, I miss all that too. I told her that it's not that simple. Just showing up and speaking those words. I said that I can't forgive you just based off of this. That the only way I would consider forgiving her would be for her to show it through her actions, and that I cannot tell her what those actions should be. It needs to come from her heart, her mind. Yet nay, forgiving her wouldn't mean him giving her a chance to reconcile, or even a chance for us to be friends, which is what she asks. My forgiveness would only be that forgiveness. She chose to betray everything she had with us to be with this person. She can't just backpedal. I told her that she is not allowed in my life, and I don't want to be a part of hers. The most we could ever do is be co-parents. That's the price she pays for her decisions. Among other things, that will still unfold. I have to be this way because I gave everything. I could try to save the marriage. We were having issues, but I never cheated. I made other mistakes, but I worked to try to make those things better for all of us. However, she's the one that made the biggest mistake. And doing so fully aware of how wrong it was. It's not fair to me to allow her back in my life. It's not fair to my child to confuse her in that way. I'm going to push forward and make a better life for my kid and I. I will be successful in my ventures, and that is the best revenge that I can get. I guess the main reason I wanted to rent is because the holidays and our birthdays are coming up. It'll be the first time in 8 years that we have had to spend the holidays and birthdays in this way. It hurts. Even more so because I told myself I wouldn't acknowledge those days to her. I don't feel like texting her Happy Thanksgiving or Happy Birthday or Merry Christmas. And honestly, I hope she doesn't text me either. On those holidays and on my birthday. I don't know if that's cold on my part or rightfully justified, but that's what I feel. The only time I will be willing to work with her is her kid's birthday, which is also coming up. That way, my kid can have both her parents on her special day. Even then, I'll most likely ask her dad to be middleman in certain things. Well, that's mostly of what I wanted to get out for now. Maybe one day, my completed story of surviving infidelity will help someone else. I wish everyone a good holiday season. Let's be around those people that do love us. Let us enjoy that holiday magic even during these turbulent times. Take care and keep strong. Our first community reaction comes from rage, sadness, all in one. God, this was so well written. You sound like an amazing father and love that you continue to always putting your little one first, even through the most difficult time of your life. Not sure how you did it, to be honest, but sounds like you make some really great decisions, even under immense pressure. She will continue to come back trying to win you back because, hell, even internet can see how bad she screwed up. Hold strong. Hope you were able to have some new special holidays with your family, and as you so eloquently put, those that do love you both. Happy holidays. Marine Exma says, I went through D-Day back in the early 1980s after 12 years of marriage with children. We met at 16 or 17 years old and married very young. We both chose not to reconcile her more than me, and she was in love with her affair partner. So from an elderly man whose life is abundantly happy after 36 years of remarriage, I want you to know how very proud I am of you, how you have gathered yourself and acted immediately during this crushing time. Many betrayed spouses remain indecisive and paralyzed with the devastation of betrayal. I've been there, and I understand as I didn't move as quickly as you. I've learned to ask myself, what will I do if this happens again with my new spouse or partner? And if it does, then stick with that boundary. It's a plan. Wow. And an affair baby to boot. Certainly no friendship. Now, 40 years later, we can have a decent conversation because time heals all wounds. Stay strong for you and your daughter and focus on living your best life. Your future has unlimited possibilities, full of love, joy, and happiness, which appears you've chosen for yourself and your daughter. Peace. You're so strong, Op. I'm proud of you for forgiving her, but not going back. You're right to forgive and not hang on those heavy feelings. It's not easy to do, but it's healthy and an important step in moving forward and doing what's best for you and your daughter. You're teaching your daughter important lessons. It's not easy to co-parent. It's one of the hardest things you can do, but you'll get through this. You're doing all the right things and making all the right steps. Being the bigger person for the sake of your daughter is one of the most selfless acts of love. Wishing you all the best, Op. Do you think Op made the right choice? What are your thoughts on forgiveness? On our next Op is grateful for a lot of things this Thanksgiving, just not her ex. X25 male wants to pick his stuff up on Thanksgiving. My 23 female ex wants to pick up his stuff from my house. I think he's using this as a cover to try and reconcile because he texted me at midnight yesterday if he could pick up his things on Thanksgiving. His belongings are too heavy to mail back to his house, and is about a 2-hour drive. I do not want to reconcile. I think he wants to come over for Thanksgiving weekend because he asked if he could pick up his stuff that we've been together for 4 years, and he used to always come to my house for Thanksgiving. How'd you go about this? He has a history of emotional abuse. I know he will try to guilt me into getting back together. He emotionally cheated 1 year ago, and reconciliation has not worked. Trickle truth, me got extremely jealous of other guys, would not give up privacy of his phone. Update. I told him I will mail him his things so he doesn't have to drive over. He got immediately defensive and said, "So you don't want to see me at all?" Then he blew up with me over text on how I am being abusive to him, not letting him say goodbye to my family. I know his behavior, and he knows how to charm people. I'll try to convince my family he's a good guy and to give him another shot. I told him do not come to my house, and he said he will do what he wants. I texted his mom and dad that I am worried about it. He has severe depression, and I believe he could harm himself. Oh, poster says, tell him no. You pick the date. It'd be good to have someone else there with you in case he gets too inappropriate, or just put it on the porch for him to pick up, whether you're there or not. As you suspect, he knows exactly what he's doing. Midnight-ish? I can just hear him now. Oh, it's so late. I can't make the 2-hour drive back. Can I just stay here for the night? One thread killer one says, personally, I'd run a small storage unit for 1 month. Move his belongings there and mail him the key. With a note informing him, he has 1 month to pick up his belongings whenever it is convenient for him. But after that month, his belongings will be forfeited to the storage company. The note would include a request that this be the final communication between each other. The answer is no. Definitely mail his stuff to him. The fact that he blew up on you is a huge red flag, and it means you definitely made the right decision in leaving him. Midnight seems like an odd time to be messaging someone for something like that. Very curious. And the fact that he said that you're not letting him say goodbye to your family. Sucks to suck. Buddy. Don't always get to say goodbye. Up next, divorce papers signed, sealed, delivered. Sign the papers today. I'm proud of myself. As the title says, I just wanted to share this little island of wind in my ocean of sadness and fear. Context. My ex left our home 2 months ago to be with his affair partner. I'm heartbroken and struggling to overcome all the gaslighting and blame shifting. Over the last few weeks, I've been trying to actively distance myself from him. I'm not trying to find out how he is, only interacting with him about necessary stuff, but no small talk. Not giving him information about my life, etc. It's been hard, but I also feel it is right for me at the moment. Today, we signed our divorce agreement. Although it feels unfair that he gets to walk away with 50%. I feel proud of myself for standing my ground during the negotiations. I got everything I could out of this. The lawyer asks if there was anything left we wanted to say to each other. Of course, I have plenty to say to him in my head and heart, but I just said, no. It was his turn, and he stated that he felt I was acting cold towards him and that was unfair, that he hoped we could be more amicable toward each other. I got the chance to respond. I hadn't prepared anything, but I decided to respond anyway. I said, I just don't see the need to spend my energy on you or becoming friends with you. I'd rather spend it on other things and people. He said he felt judged, painted as this horrible person. I said, I'm not saying anything about the kind of person you are. I'm just observing how you treated me while I was your partner, and I don't expect you to treat me any better as a friend to going forward. I have the right to decide not to put myself in that position, and I left after that. I feel like I struck a good balance between saying what I wanted to say without making it too long and bitter. I acted indifferent toward him and his desire to become friends. I don't feel indifferent, but I'm faking it till I make it. And in some moments, my feelings are starting to align. Still got a long way to go, but I'm heading in the right direction. Nate Coops chimes in first. Well done. Seriously, your response was awesome. Like you said, you struck a wonderful balance. You also sound like the better person by far. Go live your best life and F him. 202256 says he cheated, betrayed your trust and marriage, and he wants amicable and is upset as being seen as this horrible person. Okay. His fifis are hurt. Have very sad for him. You should be extremely proud of yourself. And, yeah, you're absolutely right. If he didn't treat you right when you were married, why would he treat you any different as a friend? He'd be the worst kind of friend. You don't need that in your life. He gaslit you until the very end. But after signing those papers, you don't have to have anything else to do with it. So long, so you never AP. Have you tried to be friends with an ex? Did it work? Thank you for joining us today on our space. Like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. If you want to listen to more stories from me, check out our lounge where I feature a larger variety of non-GD related stories. Until next time.